Tonight, the fight over Ghana's $1.7 billion gold loss is tense personal as GoldBod CEO Sammy Gyamfi fires back at minority leader Alexander Afenyo Markin, accusing him of smear campaign, political blackmail, and extortion.
These are devious extortionists who will come at you with lies to tarnish your reputation in the hope that you will fold and settle for what they call, quote, compulsory arbitration and oil their palms. Well, this time around, they found their own target.
Top story is brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies, holy insecticide spray and coil. Enjoy a holy sleep. Shield Pension Trust into the future with you. So tonight we ask who takes the responsibility for the $1.7 billion gold haul whilst the blame game goes ballistic. When we return from the break, we have the Deputy Ranking Member on the Lands and Natural Resources Committee, Akwesi Kunedu, and MP for Akwetia, Bernard Bediakubedu. Don't go anywhere.
If I become a millionaire, I will put a huge billboard right next to my ex's house saying, look at me now, I hate it.
As for me, I'm quitting my job in Star. I hate it.
Telecel is making millionaires this season. Not one, not two,
But 3 millionaires.
each month. One lucky Telecel customer means 1 million Ghana cedis for the next 3 months in the Telecel Mahetse promo. Plus, you still get to win 20,000 Ghana cedis weekly and 100 Ghana cedis daily. Bundle 10 Ghana cedis, airtime or data. Or top up your Telecel cash wallet or your fixed broadband to stand a chance of winning. Visit the Telecel Play app or dial star 500 hash to opt in for free into the Telecel Mahetse promo.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. Me I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me da na ma da with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FD.
If you want quality, this be where you belong. Hey, tough, hey, strong. Oh, Ghana shout, sing the song. When the sun they hot, syntax no break. When the rain they fall, still no shake. Builders they choose and plumbers they prove. Any project you they start.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you've truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy whilst retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Good evening. This is Top Story. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi. Tonight, the gold war has exploded. It has taken a more personal turn, with GoldBod CEO Sammy Gyamfi hitting back hard at minority leader Alexander Afenyo Markin, accusing him of smear tactics, political blackmail and extortion. The clash comes after Afenyo Markin blamed GoldBod for the IMF's staggering $1.7 billion loss under the domestic gold purchase program. Speaking at a news conference yesterday, Afenyo Markin said GoldBod played a central role in buying, aggregating, assaying and exporting the gold, while the Bank of Ghana provided the financing. He also questioned why GoldBod should receive fees from the transactions while the associated losses are reflected in the Bank of Ghana's accounts. But Sammy Gyamfi insists GoldBod has made no losses, describing the minority leader's position as a deliberate campaign aimed at pursuing selfish ends.
I want to urge you, our friends in the media, in all humility, and the Ghanaian public, to hold Afenyo Markin and others who make allegations about GoldBod losses to the strictest standard of proof, particularly in the light of the detailed facts I have placed before you today. Let me state that the persistent noise from people like him does not arise from any genuine quest for accountability or any sincere desire to interrogate the operations of the GoldBod. Rather, it is a part of a calculated smear campaign aimed at undermining the significant contribution GoldBod is making to the economic transformation agenda of President Mohammed's administration. The lives of Afenyo Markin simply cannot reconcile themselves with the transformational work of GoldBod because they appreciate the important role it has played in the historic appreciation of the Ghana cedi and the significant strengthening of Ghana's international reserves.
Oh, that's Sammy Gyamfi there. He also challenged the minority leader to produce the IMF report he claims implicates GoldBod in Bank of Ghana's losses under the domestic gold purchase program.
Their position has now conveniently changed from the old false narrative that the GoldBod made losses to the new false narrative, which is that the GoldBod is responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing could be further from the truth. First, nowhere in the under-referenced IMF reports is GoldBod accused by the IMF as having caused the losses reported to have been incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program. I challenge Afenyo Markin to point to any page, paragraph, sentence, phrase, or punctuation mark in the said reference reports of the IMF where the GoldBod was accused by the IMF as the entity responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, what the IMF report states is that Bank of Ghana incurred losses through the sale of gold under its domestic gold purchase program of $400 million in the year 2024 and $1.7 billion in the year 2025. And that the 2025 loss of $1.7 billion was as a result of, I'm quoting the IMF verbatim, the scaling up of the domestic gold purchase program, not incompetence or mismanagement. According to the IMF, that loss was as a result of the scaling up, the expansion of the program. The IMF also stated that these accounting losses partly reflect valuation effects, in particularizing what the IMF considers to be components of this loss. The IMF listed three things, which included fees paid to the GoldBod under the domestic gold purchase program. This is the true context within which the name of the GoldBod featured relative to losses under the DGPP in the reference IMF reports. So I want to read the relevant portions of that report, because most of the times they come in the media and they say the IMF has said that GoldBod has made a loss of 1.7 billion. And nobody questions them to point out which part of the IMF report said that. They say that the IMF says that GoldBod is a reason for the loss, and nobody questions them to provide the proof. And we are all talking about IMF report, IMF report. The fact checkers must get to work.
Sammy Gyamfi is the CEO of GoldBod, who reached out to minority leader Afenyo Markin for a response to these claims by Sammy Gyamfi. Unfortunately, he declined to comment. Meanwhile, co-chair of the Ghana Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Steve Manteau, says the $1.7 billion loss incurred is justified by the foreign exchange gains and wider economic benefits generated by the program. He spoke on PM Express with Evans Mensah.
Losses all those years. Why didn't that become a problem?
I guess maybe because you're seeing 22 billion. That's dropping. Nothing close to that.
Let's say, for instance, in 2024, we made a total loss of 5.7 billion.
Cedis?
Yes, cedis. 1.8 billion from gold for oil, and then 3.8 billion from our domestic gold for reserves. Total of 5.7 billion. Right. How much revenue, gold export revenue, did we bring in? A mere 4 billion. And so if you had to incur a loss of 1.7 billion to bring in 10 billion, that for me shouldn't be a problem. It means that we should accept that incurring losses, what we call losses, for me, they are transaction costs. And all the governments over the years have been incurring transaction costs. And that has not become a problem. So why this time around we treat GoldBod as if it is the first time we are making losses? We don't even consider the quantum of forex that GoldBod has brought in. And so you need to look at the relativity. How much did you spend to bring in what? And what has been the impact? The economy-wide impact for me exceeds the cost.
You've been hearing from Steve Mantea, who is the co-chair of the Ghana Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. We've also been hearing from economist Professor Godfrey Bokpin, who says the $1.7 billion losses is as a result of the flaws in the program design.
The argument that GoldBod had to offer competitive price, higher price, in order to attract the gold. From 2025, by law, GoldBod was the only company as the off-taker. By law, it was not like you are offering better price to compete with the others. The others were not allowed to play in the market. Whatever they were doing was smuggling. They had to be, together with security agents and the rest of them, we look at how we close that. So the idea was not that there are many buyers, and therefore let's offer higher price so as to outcompete the others. GoldBod is a monopoly. The price at which we were buying gold was probably the highest in the region, and all of that clearly tells that probably the losses as a result of the design, the pricing regime was a bit more costly for us in the face of the gains that we are talking about. That should not be lost on us.
Joining the conversation in the studio right now is Bernard Bediako Beidou. He's the NDC MP for Appiah. Also joining us on Zoom is Akwesi Kunedu, who's the Deputy Ranking Member on the Lands and Natural Resources Committee in Parliament. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time this evening. Mr. Bediako, I want to begin with you because you are joining us live from the studio. The debate seems never to end. The NPP maintains that there were losses incurred by GoldBod. GoldBod says, no, there were no losses. Were there losses incurred by GoldBod?
Thank you so much for having me, and good evening to you and your listeners, viewers out there, and Ghanaians in general. My regards to my brother on the other side of the microphone. You know, we are on the same committee. He's a ranking member, and I'm just a member. Well, so in terms of the topic that is under discussion, the issue really must not be missed. What the minority led by the respected leader, Honorable Afenyo Markin, has insisted over the period is that GoldBod had incurred some losses according to a report by IMF. Unfortunately, in all the discussion, he's not been able to point out the page, and I've followed his press conferences, the page, the paragraph where the said loss was actually mentioned in the said report. But we also know, of course, this is a public document, that throughout the report, it is only at page 10, item 13, that the said losses, or I mean whatever you may call it, is actually stated. And if you look at it, there is nowhere in the said paragraph that the IMF ever said that the loss was a GoldBod loss or was at their instance. They never said that. It is nowhere there. And I have the report with me here. And if you would bear with me, with your permission, if I may read a few. If I even look at the heading of the paragraph 13, it says that DGPP operations have generated significant losses for the BOG, Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
And it says this: losses in 2024 were equivalent to this, and I'll come to that. 1/3 were related to gold for oil and all that. It tells you they have said a lot of things here, and they related to issues and the finances of Bank of Ghana. So at best, but for the fact that this whole thing was actually geared towards tarnishing the image of the young man who is heading the institution of GoldBod, nobody would have ever mentioned, or IMF never mentioned, that it was as a result of GoldBod's operations that led to the said that they are talking about. At the minimum, you can say it's Bank of Ghana losses. And then Bank of Ghana will come and explain. So I will leave it as that. That even the report they rely on so much never mentioned that it was Bank of Ghana, it was GoldBod that incurred the debt. They refer to Bank of Ghana. So there was no such debt with regards GoldBod. And that is what I want to say.
Well, the minority has always argued that, yes, GoldBod might not have been mentioned in name, but the explanations being given by the IMF points to GoldBod being the major reason behind those losses. And in fact, if you read portions of it, it says that the scaling up of the domestic gold purchase program resulted in that 1.7 billion US dollar losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana. The scaling up that they talk about, does it have to do with GoldBod?
No, the scaling up, of course. I mean, the DGPP is essentially purchase of gold for some purposes. And of course, at the moment, it is GoldBod that supervises these operations. But what we are saying is that, you see, and you jumped it. So if this is the point they are making, what about the $400 million?
Yeah, the year before.
The year before, in 2024. Was it as a result of GoldBod, which was not even established? So who, incurred this debt at the time, $400 million under their regime? So that is the question you should ask. So if they are saying that this is novel, then the question we should ask is the same report they so much rely on says $400 million in 2024 when they were in power. How did this come by? And did you see NDC shout on top of the roof that they had incurred $400 million, even though we all know that the benefits we are enjoying now, they never happened during their tenure. In 2024, we never saw the relative stability of the currency, inflation, and all that. We never saw that. But the report then says that $400 million was also, incurred in terms of debt. So if you want to talk about but the scaling up, of course, the volumes of gold that is being traded now is, of course, far, far more than what it used to be in 2024. So scaling up of this, of course, we are buying more now. So if it is about an expenditure that we all agree, which is associated with the GDPP, and you want us to address, you address it bipartisanly. You don't come and castigate GoldBod. First and foremost, we need to call them out that the report never said it was GoldBod. That is first and foremost. And secondly, if it is even to be admitted, we have been told that $400 million in 2024 was also as a result of whatever they may have done with regards to the gold purchase. So what is the point here?
Well, another argument being made by the minority is that 1.7 billion US dollar loss incurred by the Bank of Ghana has relatively rendered the bank technically bankrupt. Is that an argument that the majority agrees with?
Not at all. And you see, for me, the reason, as much as I have my reasons for it, I would even stop at the very narrative they have perpetrated on us, and some of us seem to believe. They have said that GoldBod has, and for me, I don't work with Bank of Ghana, okay? Right. And I don't think the argument, if they wanted to direct their questions at Bank of Ghana, they would have done so, and the Bank of Ghana would actually respond to them. They are accusing GoldBod. I don't know why we are shifting the goalposts. For me, is it? Are we saying that this is because you see, GoldBod also came out and said that we have an audited account, which had nothing like this. It is not in our books. We say no. It is in the IMF report. The IMF report is saying that these are losses for Bank of Ghana. So if it is Bank of Ghana you are asking questions from, ask from Bank of Ghana and they will respond. But why target the GoldBod and make it look as though? And let me also say, look, it's unfortunate for the respected minority leader sometimes to speak the way he speaks. For you to even liken the matter to a crime and then say that the CEO of GoldBod may bring whatever or may have harsher conditions for, meaning you arrest him for what? Since when did losses of an organization became a crime for an individual in it? When you are not able to establish that indeed he benefited or he committed any crime in relation to the said loss. And this is a senior lawyer. Unfortunately, sometimes we have these things all over, and then people do not scrutinize the document. Did you know when the discussion started? Did you actually know that indeed the loss was attributed to Bank of Ghana and not GoldBod? Did you know from the beginning when they were on top of they were shouting, GoldBod has incurred loss, had incurred loss? Did you know until recently or even today that it was actually the Bank of Ghana loss and not GoldBod?
So you believe that the argument by the minority have shifted from facts to personal attacks?
Absolutely. And it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And this is not how we should build this country. In fact, they've been exposed. Then that must be made clear. That point must be made clear. If you say that GoldBod has incurred losses, it is their books. And you see, unfortunately, the Honorable Abnao Sasare is the chairman for Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. And Public Accounts Committee scrutinizes the report from the Auditor General in relation to entities of government. Has she cited any document that is before her? An audited account that she is actually, raising questions about? When the matter came to Parliament for the GoldBod CEO to be invited, we said that we don't have a problem. Majority. We said he can come, but there are already established committees, like the Public Accounts Committee. Let the GoldBod's account be brought before you. Invite the management, and then ask the questions you want to. You said you wanted a bipartisan committee.
Okay.
How is this bipartisan? Which report? You are the head of Public Accounts Committee. You have the opportunity to scrutinize the audited accounts of GoldBod. If not for other purposes such as just tarnishing someone's image, why would you be interested in just, bringing stuff out from the IMF report when the report didn't even say so? But if you are tackling it, if you are saying there is 1.7 billion dollars loss in 2025, why did you jump your 400 million? Of course, the scaling up, we are buying more now. So you look at what the numbers are. So if it is an operational cost, it didn't start today. So if we need to address it, we address it in a way that is devoid of politics.
Okay. That's Bernard Bediako Beidou. He's the NP for Appiah. We're still trying to establish a connection with the minority NPP in Parliament to also give us their opinion on this raging debate that's currently happening in this country. Mr. Bediako, we've been hearing from individuals like Steve Mantea, who says that, yes, there was 1.7 billion US dollar loss that was incurred by the Bank of Ghana.
Absolutely.
But it was a positive loss because it helped the economy. Is that something that the NDC majority in Parliament subscribes to?
Yes, indeed. Indeed, because the Bank of Ghana is not a commercial bank. They don't do profit or loss. You see, what is actually the work of Bank of Ghana? So compare the work and the results we have now, the stability of our currency, inflation rate. That is what Bank of Ghana does. Of course, it comes with a cost. So if in their dealings with other entities, they incur some loss, my point is that, fine, if there is something we can do to actually reduce this cost, it's a welcoming discussion we should hold. But it shouldn't be out there as though there is a deliberate plot against a particular person or a particular entity. And interestingly, you are not getting any of them to speak on this matter today. It's very interesting. They were all over the place. And unfortunately today they are nowhere to be found. Because I have the report there. I want them to point the pages to me. And then they addressed the 400 million in 2024. How did they come by? The same report they regard as their Bible. Please try and reach out to them. We want to hear from them.
We're working the phone lines to make that happen. Sammy Gyamfi says that he's ever ready to appear before Parliament. But
in fact, he has always been ready. We told them that there are existing committees in Parliament, such as the Public Accounts Committee.
But the minority's argument is that they want a specialized committee set up.
They don't trust Abno Sasari.
Specifically to interrogate the work of
They don't trust
Sammy Gyamfi.
Their own Abno Sasari as the chair of the Public Accounts Committee. They don't trust her. They are just making up. It's just propaganda. They know the fact would, it would expose them. That is all they are doing. Nothing beyond that. They are just doing propaganda. Sammy Gyamfi has always been ready to meet Parliament. His audited accounts is ready. Public Accounts Committee, if you see anything in it, call him. He's ready.
Don't go yet, because I have one of your colleagues from the NPP side, Alexander Akwesiakwa. He's the MP for Achim Oda. Mr. Akwesiakwa, welcome to the program. Do I have you?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Well, the minority has always maintained that there's been losses which have been incurred by the Bank of Ghana due to the activities of GoldBod. Gyamfi has made us understand today that there is nowhere in any of the IMF reports that points directly to a loss that was incurred by the Bank of Ghana as a result of GoldBod. Now, your colleague Mr. Bediako, the MP for Akwatia, is in the studio and is challenging any of the members from the MPP side, rather, to point specifically where exactly the IMF attributes the $1.7 billion loss to GoldBod.
Yes, this assertion has been buttressed by the IMF report that recently was released. Bank of Ghana is the backbone of the GoldBod operations. And so if Bank of Ghana, the IMF is saying that the operations of the DGPP has resulted in a loss of 1.7 billion, which is about 1.5% of our GDP. I mean, approximately 22 billion Ghana cedis. Clearly, this as a result of the activities of the GoldBod. And so if the GoldBod chief executive has any answers for Ghanaians, he has to tell us how come we have made these losses.
How did you come to that conclusion that these were as a result of the activities of GoldBod? Because the year prior also there were losses as a result of that same gold purchasing program exceeding 400 million Ghana cedis. So how is this attributable? US dollars, I beg your pardon. So how is this attributable to GoldBod?
Oh, so the 400 million cedis
dollars
are attributable to the activities of the gold purchase program. But the 1.7 billion, as reported by IMF, cannot be attributed to Sammy Gyamfi's GoldBod. Is that what we are saying?
Not at all.
Is that what we are saying?
Mr. Bediako, you want to come in?
Yes, so I'm surprised because 2024 GoldBod was not even in existence. We are talking about 2024, Honorable. 2024. The
IMF is reporting on 2025 activities.
Also, I mean, that operations made Bank of Ghana lose so much to the tune of $400 million.
No, we are not talking about the 400 million. We are talking about the current IMF report.
GoldBod was not in existence. So we are asking you, that was your time. You were a deputy minister. Billion. How did we come by this figure?
Which figure? Which figure, Honorable? We are talking about 1.7 billion losses as reported by IMF as a result of the domestic gold program, which is a program managed by GoldBod. It is just a change of name. It's just a nomenclature. It's a gold purchase program that has resulted in a loss of 1.7 billion. And so I do not understand why we're having this hue and cry on this whole issue. I mean, whatever it is, we need to have some explanations so that it guides us in the future of our operations. But this cannot be swept under the carpet. It cannot be swept off. We still have to talk about it. That is an IMF report. So we are expecting some answers. How did we get here? Losing 22 billion Ghana cedis. It's been reported, and we need answers. That's all.
And one of the ways in which you can get those answers is inviting Sammy Gyamfi to Parliament, which he dared the minority to do. Will the minority consider doing that?
Well, we have served notice that we are coming with a motion. And during the recall, definitely the minority is going to act. We are only hoping that the majority will join hands with us so that, just like the last time when we had a motion and they blocked it with their numbers, this time they will open up in the name of transparency so that at least all of us will put this thing to rest.
Right. Don't go yet. I still have Mr. Bediakon with me. He's the NP for Appiah. Among the many claims made by Sammy Gyamfi earlier today was that there are extortion claims being made by him from the minority side. He mentioned Afenyo Markin, that they are doing this to extort from him. Are you aware of anything like an extortion?
No, I'm not aware. I mean, but the CEO, I don't work with GoldBod. I haven't had that discussion with him. So if he has such information and he indeed would like to share, maybe at the appropriate forum, he would share. I don't have that information. But you see, let me simplify this for Ghanaians to even understand. Of course, it is not also the case that we blocked any motion inviting Sammy Gyamfi to. We said that we should use the existing committees of Parliament. That is all we said. And they said they wanted the bipartisan. We didn't see where the bipartisan comes in here. Because you have your own respected Abno Sasari being the head of that committee that deals with public accounts. And this is a public office. So you say to unravel whatever you have, you say you were not interested in that. And so we thought that we didn't want this to be the usual NDC MPP. So use the existing. What was the fear of using the Public Accounts Committee? That is where the departure was. Now, let me simplify it. Assuming it is even the case that Bank of Ghana had given some money out for the purchase of gold and there is a loss, in whose books would that those losses be recorded? Surely Bank of Ghana. So it will not be in the books of GoldBod. So invite GoldBod to come and tell you what. Because when they come, they have to come with their financial books. And their financial books will not have those losses in it.
Okay.
So I do not know that, but fine, we can go on that wild goose chase. The gentleman is ready, GoldBod is ready, they are ready to face anybody. But I can tell you, this is an exercise in futility. In fact, Honorable himself has not been able to tell us which page is the said loss reported as against the books of GoldBod. That is our problem.
Okay, Bernard Bediakun Beidu is the NP for Appiah on the ticket of the NDC. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Alexander Akwesi Akwa is the NPP NP for Achim Odan. Mr. Akwesi Akwa, I want to give you just a minute to wrap up this conversation that we're having here. There's been an argument, especially from the NDC and from other individuals, including Steve Manteau, that even if the Bank of Ghana incurred $1.7 billion US, that was a positive loss because it contributed immensely to the economy of this country. Do you agree as a minority?
You see, we are now talking about even if. Why can't we be emphatic and say that this is a loss? And then we can look at the ingredients of that loss. Clearly, if Bank of Ghana is the financier of GoldBod, And Bank of Ghana is reporting that loss of 22 billion Ghana cedis, a whooping amount. And GoldBod is sitting somewhere saying that they have made profits. What kind of accounting practices are we displaying? I mean, I, as a financier, we have recorded losses in our transactions with you. I mean, transactions as a result of the losses as a result of our transactions with you, 1.7 billion. And then you sit somewhere and say you made profits. I mean, that is laughable.
Right, Alexander Kwesiakwa, thank you very much. He's the NP for Achimota, and earlier we heard from Bernard Bidiaku Bedu. He's the NDC NP for Appiah. Let's bring you News 9. Gemma has the headlines. Gemma.
Coming up tonight, convicted former NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Bosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, is defying his 20-year sentence as he expects to be in the race for the national chairmanship position of the NPP.
I have received indication that a few friends of his in business and in corporate Ghana are garnering support to be able to pick up forms for him. And so the forms will be picked.
Wuntumi's team will pick nomination forms before the weekend, even as he sits behind bars. But how does a convict campaign, fail, and get averted from prison? We get answers from his spokesperson on a day Wuntumi's bid for bail pending the full determination of his appeal suffered a major setback. Also tonight, Minister of Roads and Highways Governs Kwame Agboja blasts contractors working on the 17-kilometer Tema Aflao Road for snail-paced progress.
Right from the beginning, I get the impression the contractors do not intend to do the work because I don't see any activity. It's 17 kilometers.
Details as the minister says government has injected over 23 billion cedis into contractors' payments, warning that Ghanaians deserve to see results by next year. This evening, a dangerous breach of public health rules in Accra as some herbal medicine sellers blatantly flout the Public Health Act 851, selling unlabeled drugs, reusing containers, and advertising treatments for diseases the law restricts. More enjoy News' latest feature series, Herbal Gamble. Surviving driver of Sprinter bus in Thursday of Vancouver barrier accidents narrates chilling account of the incidents that claimed 12 lives and left many still fighting for their lives.
Before I could react, the said car smashed into mine. In the midst of the chaos, I jumped out of the car, only through the windscreen, that I noticed that I had sustained injuries myself to the foot and eyelid.
Calls intensify for urgent installation of speed cameras on the Ofankor-Pokuase stretch after another crash on the same stretch leaves one person seriously injured.
It's a short distance, which is likely you are going to slow down and pursue. So why must we be speeding at a certain range and get crashed?
In business,
government expect latest coupon payment to bondholders or domestic donation program to strengthen investor confidence and credit ratings upgrade.
And later in sports,
10 days to the 2026 Joy Sports Invitational Tournament.
On your Say Tonight, we ask if any of our listeners can tell the difference between a local chicken and one from, say, China. NPP's Adenta Kumi appears to know.
He said it doesn't have bone marrow. Charlie, this one China chicken. China chicken. And I began to understand why they said Nkukong kitchen.
Share your views with us either through comment or send us a short voice note on our WhatsApp console 055 11 11 997 and tag us on all social media platforms. The details now. Tonight, convicted former Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Bosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, still expects to run for his party's national chairmanship race, despite serving a 20-year jail term for illegal mining-related offences. The NPP has opened nominations for various national leadership positions, including the chairmanship position that Chairman Wontumi has been campaigning for prior to his conviction and sentencing. Spokesperson for Wontumi, Dr. Palgrave Boache Dankwa says friends of the convicted former Ashanti Regional Chairman will pick nomination forms on his behalf.
Well, I think that we are not stepping back. We are particularly very encouraged with the enthusiasm and the support that we are receiving about Chairman Wuntumi's chairmanship. I have received indications that a few friends of his in business and in corporate Ghana are garnering support to be able to pick up forms for him. And so the forms will be picked very much so before the deadline is due.
But how would Chairman Wontumi even attend vetting should he successfully pick and file his nomination forms? His spokesperson has the answer.
Well, what I would say is that only on easy lies the head that wears the crown. We have the first step, which is to pick up the form. The second step, which is to file. If we do have any other challenges from the third step, we would have known that at least we put our hands to the wheel and we give it our best shot.
So what does the NPP's constitution say about the eligibility of persons convicted and serving jail terms? Kweku Asante of our legal affairs desk joins me with details. Kweku, under the NPP's constitution, is Chairman Wontumi qualified to contest?
Gemma, it would appear it is not up to debate, because if you look at Article 3.5 of the NPP constitution, it says a member shall be disqualified from holding any office or contesting any election in the party if such a member and B has been convicted and or sentenced by a court of competent jurisdiction in respect of any offense involving any offense punishable by death or by a sentence of not less than 10 years, unless a period of 10 years has elapsed after serving the sentence or the member has been granted a full pardon. So if you look at Article 3.5 A2, it is obvious that if you are sentenced to for any offense which carries a sentence of not less than 10 years, you are not allowed to contest for any seat or any position within the party. But even after you finish serving your term, you have to wait for 10 years to expire before you are allowed to do so. That is what the party constitution says if you look at Article 3.5 of the NPP constitution.
Before you go, you were in court for his application for bail pending appeal. He has to wait 2 months for a decision. Why is that?
Yes, Chairman Wontumi was not in court today. He was not brought by the prison service. Also, his lawyers, Samuel Atachi and the team were not there. But the Deputy Attorney General was there. We're all seated in court for about 10-15 minutes before the clerk to the court actually informed the Deputy Attorney General and the team of lawyers that were there that the presiding judge was unable to come because she was indisposed. And because of this, the proceedings have now been adjourned to the 15th of October. That is when Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers will get to move this application for bail pending appeal, and then the court would have to make a determination on them.
Kweku Asante of our legal affairs desk, thank you very much. Dr. Palgrave Wache Dankwa is spokesperson for Chairman Wontumi. He joins us via Zoom. Welcome to News 9. So, per your party's constitution, Chairman Wontumi, it's almost impossible for him to contest, yet you say some of his friends will be picking the nomination form on his behalf by the weekend.
A very good evening to you, Gemma, and thank you for the opportunity. Very much so. Chairman Wuntumi's friends will be picking up his form for him. Chairman Wontumi is a politician. His friends believe in his ambition, and they are going to make sure that his form will be picked, his form will be submitted and filed, and it will be on record that Chairman Wontumi has picked his form and filed his form. And when we get to the vetting processes, we would cross that.
Are his friends aware of this provision of your constitution, the party's constitution, that a member who has been convicted and sentenced by the court based on a number of offences listed there is not eligible to contest?
I'm certain that the friends of Chairman Wontumi are premised their decision to pick up a form for him purely based on the party's position on the imprisonment of Chairman Wontumi, considering him as a political prisoner, which for them in their mind presupposes that they would have an opportunity to pick the form because there's nothing legally denying him an opportunity to pick a form and there's nothing legally denying him to submit a form.
But is this something that Chairman Wontumi himself wants to pursue? He's in jail and he's thinking of contesting to lead a party. Possible.
Chairman has been very convinced about his decision
on leading the party in terms of the rebuilding efforts, which is the final phase of it. You recall that all through the trial processes, Chairman had already done his first. He had already done his first round. All throughout the court processes, he had first round of touring 276 constituencies. He had done media tour. He had met with political party leaders, the fathers of the land. He had met with former presidents, met with former regional executives, council of elders. And so his decision to stand for the chairmanship of the party does not bar him at all. He still speaks about his desire to lead the party, even where he is.
One would think that he's in jail fighting for his freedom. Shouldn't he be focusing on that than to think of leading a political party where a number of people are also competent enough to lead?
Well, I think that all the world is a stage. Wontumi has an opportunity to also desire to consider that he's a politician, and so nothing bars him from standing for a political office, even he's been incarcerated. And he himself is very clear in his mind that whatever it would take for him to pick a form, he would do that. Whatever it would take for him to file the form, he would do that. And if he meets any roadblock on easy lies the head that wears the crown, the Ghanaian people will remember his sacrifices and dedication to the new patriotic party.
And how does he intend to attend vetting, even campaign? When
well, like I said, Gemma has already done his first round of campaign. I'm not too sure how many of the contenders have completed their first round. Gemma was one of the first person that stepped into the competition and did his first 16 regions, 276 constituencies. He's done his first round of the campaign already. The delegates are convinced about his decision to lead the party and the commitments that he brings on board. And I'm in no doubt in my mind that if we face any challenges after picking our form and after filing, we will know that we have tried our best for Chairman Wontumi, and he himself will know that on easy lies the head that wears the crown.
How is Chairman Wontumi doing in prison?
I'm certain he's well. The last time that we visited him, we were with his lead counsel, which should be about a week and a half ago. He is very well. We haven't seen him since then. We're expecting that today will be in court, but the judge called in sick, which is why, like your legal reporter stated, Chairman Wontumi was not brought from the prison to the court. And so we hope that we see him again.
When are we expecting the nomination forms to be picked?
With all the conversations that we have had with the chairman of the campaign, I'm certain that Friday the nomination forms will be picked, and we would go and have him sign the nomination form and submit that as well.
Dr. Palgrave Boache Danko, a spokesperson for Chairman Wontumi, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Government's big push is stuck in traffic. Roads Minister Gavin Kwame Agboja says the 17-kilometer Flao Road project is crawling despite government releasing 23 billion Ghana cedis to contractors. Well, motorists are often left stuck in traffic for hours on the busy road, and we're hoping the government's big push initiative will change the situation. However, the minister says no significant work has been done since his visit to the site 4 months ago, and has therefore tasked the two contractors to speed up work. Take a listen to the interaction between the minister and contractors.
The works, honestly, we think that is slow. The works is slow on our behalf. I mean, we see them working here. Now, the subcontractor is working upstream somewhere there, but we think they should be able to do better, but it's slow for us, honestly.
For both contractors?
The other contractor... yeah.
Right now, we are around 23.11, which we should be far ahead of that. We are expecting to be around 30 by now. But we've not been able to... Okay, so we've not been able to achieve up to 30 now. We are around 23.1. 3.11. So then we are a bit behind schedule. About almost 7%. Yes. Yes, please. That is for first car. First car. You see, when this road is just about 17 kilometers.
What we've been right from the beginning, I get the impression the contractors do not intend to do the work because I don't see any activity. It's 17 kilometers. one gang doing a small covert somewhere, talking about working on diversion. Well, diversion gives you opportunity to do actual work. So that can't even count as a work. Maybe if those were the initial works you needed to do to get your right of way. But we can't leave 4 months and come back. I can't see much work going on here. I can't see much more work going on here.
Well, the sector minister also toured the Tema motorway, charging the contractor to expedite the construction by working both day and night to meet the completion deadline in 2027.
There's no reason why you cannot work even more in the night than the day. So I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the president's 24-hour economy to do more of the disruptive works in the night and rather scale down during the day and make certain or dedicated lanes available for the public to use during the day. So that is very critical to us. We are hopeful that you can still complete this on schedule because the motoring public can't understand why they have to go through this for that long period. So please endeavor to make sure that we meet the target.
Roads and Highways Minister Kwame Gavins Agboja, my colleague Fatal Bayaga, followed the minister on this tour and is joining me in the studio with Mo Fatal. The minister also has been talking about government paying more than 23 billion cedis to road contractors so far. Tell us more.
Absolutely. So, Ken, he said that 23 billion Ghana cedis has been injected so far across the country and fixing the country's roads. And he said that a large part of this money has gone into settling debt owed the contractors previously. And in fact, he says that at the moment, Ghanaians are demanding to see the result of this money that has been pumped so far into the road sector. So he's asking the contractors to expedite work so that by the end of 2027, the results would be clear for everyone to see. We can listen to him.
Government is committed. As I said earlier, government has paid over 23 billion so far on roads, and the bulk of that is arrears, because if you notice your project, the one at Ofankor, we inherited, but when we inherited it there was an outstanding debt of 78 million which we paid. That is classified either as big push or arrears. So the 23 billion is a lot of money to be paid to road contractors. It's the largest payment to on capital expenditure from government. And
Fatal Bayaga is still with me in the studio. Fatal, the minister has also been talking about the owner of Maripoma Enterprise Limited, Alhaji Ali Seidu, who rarely speaks with the media. Today he spoke to you. He had a few words. What did he say?
So he says that Maripoma is a company that plans so well. And in fact, that he said at the moment their projects are being expedited across the country. And one route that, in recent times generated a lot of controversy is the Bole and then Wa Highway. He said that at the moment the work is being sped up and he is quite sure that they would meet the completion date. You can listen to him.
On the ground. We believe in planning. We don't work to impress people. You understand? So go to the various project sites. You will see the result of planning and how we have been able to achieve very much in this short period. The famous Bole project. I urge you to go there and see what is happening now. And then you can report to the public and then you will see what.
Fatal, the minister had a very busy day today because he also visited the Afenyo Dodua Road. What is the current state of that road?
Ken, the previous time that I went there 4 months ago, the road was covered with dust, but I can report confidently that at the moment that situation has changed, and for the motorists, some of them say that they are quite impressed with how the work is being executed on that road, and the contractor also made it clear that by the end of December this year, one lane of the route would be completed.
Well, thank you very much, Fatal Bayaga. He was on tour earlier today with the Roads and Highways Minister Kwame Gavins Agboja. Remember, you can also be a part of this show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. You can also send us a voice note. Please let it be as brief as 30 seconds. We take you back to our earlier story concerning the brouhaha regarding GoldBod's alleged losses, and we understand that the minority has been responding to that. that. Michael Ashale is joining me in studio. Michael, what has the minority been saying?
So, talking about the minority, this is from the signed by the minority leader himself, Osahin Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Markin. And it says that, well, on Tuesday, 18th August 2026, the minority in Parliament addressed a news conference on the losses under the gold purchase program. Now, he's been responding to, in a 5-part paragraph, responding to the statement issued by Sammy Gyamfi, who is the CEO for GoldBod today. He says first, he thinks that the loss is admitted, that the chief executive does not dispute the IMF's finding that there's a loss of $1.7 billion, which is 22 billion Ghana cedis, under the domestic gold purchase program in 2025. He disputes only who should be blamed. This is public money, whichever state balance sheet it sits on. Now, secondly, he says the fee arithmetic is now on the record, and that the chief executive tells GoldBod accounted for about 133 billion Ghana cedis in advances in 2025, and that it was paid an assay fee of 0.258% and a service fee of about 0.5%. And on those figures, Afenyo Markin says that the GoldBod earned in the region 1.1 billion Ghana cedis in fees from this program. He also tells us that GoldBod posted an operational surplus of 907 million Ghana cedis. The plain implication of this, of his own words, which is Sammy Gyamfi's own words, is that the operational surplus he is celebrating is smaller than the fee income he collected from a program that lost the state 22 billion Ghana cedis. Strip out the agency fees and there is no operational surplus to speak of. This is the point he did not address, and it is the point he must now address. He goes on to make 2 more points. He says, thirdly, he, that is Sammy Gyamfi, cannot claim the upside and disown the downside. The same statement credits the scaling up of the DGPP with the 41% CD appreciation, the rise in reserves from $8.9 billion to $13 billion, and the fall in inflation. And the GoldBod has been foremost in taking public credit for those outcomes. An institution that, he says, claims authorship of the benefit cannot describe itself as a passive agent when the costs are accounted. And then finally, he says, on the 4th point, the funding positions keep shifting, and that by the Sammy Gyamfi's own accounts, responsibility of the program's implementation costs moved from the Bank of Ghana to the Ministry of Finance in July 2026, and from August 2026, the GoldBod is now seeking to raise funds independently. 3 funding arrangements in 6 months is not a settled model. We view this with curious eyes. And finally, he says, a word on tone, the chief executive's reference to a brothel does not belong in the statement issued by the public officer accounting for public funds, and that Ghanaians asked for figures. They were given insults. The figures are still outstanding. This is how he ends his 1-page statement responding to Sammy Gyamfi's earlier statement on GoldBod's losses.
Thank you very much, Michael. Let's now do business, and George Riafe is here with the very latest. George?
Well, Kenneth, we'll be getting you something more on gold, because government actually expect the latest coupon payment to bondholders of the domestic debt exchange program to strengthen investor confidence and also the credit ratings upgrade. And GoldBod highlights how this operations has helped reduce smuggling significantly, as half-year numbers showed no losses posted so far. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business.
Hello? Charlie, I'm at the library. Why do you keep calling me?
Wait, question. What's the capital of Burkina Faso?
Ouagadougou. Bye.
Wait. Which planet is the hottest in the solar system?
Venus. Charlie, why all these questions?
See, I'm playing the MTN Swipe and Win promo. I might cash out some cool 1,000 Ghana cedis today.
Hey! 1,000 cedis?
Shh.
Charlie, what's the next question? What's the next question?
Join the MTN Swipe and Win promo today. Answer trivia, earn points, and stand a chance to win 1,000 Ghana cedis every day. Weekly cash of 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000 Ghana cedis. A brand new Hyundai Texan in the first 3 months, and the ultimate grand prize of 500,000 Ghana cedis. Recharge your account to qualify for the daily draws. To join, visit swipeandwinpromo.mtn.com.gh. Download the My MTN app or dial *5030#. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. TNCs apply.
MTN.
Hey, who dey brush? We dey brush them. Hey, who dey brush? We dey brush them. Hey, brush your teeth. Brush your teeth every day and night. Slide the gems and tackle them. Brush the gems away. England gems, we go brush them. Asia gems, we go brush them. Panama gems, we go brush them. We go.
Whatever the germs, brush them away with the new Pepsodent, now in limited edition World Cup packs. This advert is FDA approved.
Cast your mind back to 2022. The prices were rising. The stress was high. Every liter of fuel felt like a sacrifice. Do you remember who stepped forward first? When others were comfortable with high prices, Star Oil chose you. We cut our own profits so you could keep your AC on, keep your engines running, and keep your life moving without the heavy burden. We gave you room to breathe when things felt tight. Because of you, our star savers, we became number one. Today, the pumps are a battleground. Others are finally cutting prices because they have to. But Star Oil, we do it because we want to. Don't just chase a price, remember a friendship. We were there for you then, and with new innovations coming your way, we are here for you now. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made, or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Cover everything will cover. You and all you love.
Hollard, we cover you.
Every mosquito started run away. Oh, come on, tonton preko. Saso, me se come tonton preko. Oh, come on, tonton preko. Saso, come tonton preko. Na ni sham ne die e demonstranko.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, government is hopeful the latest coupon payment to bondholders of domestic debt exchange program will help strengthen investor confidence and credit ratings upgrade. There is more in the following Business Desk report.
Government optimism has been influenced by the fact that one of the main reasons for the credit rating downgrade was investors' concerns about the government's ability to repay its debt on time following the external debt restructuring. However, with the debt restructuring almost completed and following the Fed debt exchange program payment, government sources believe that Ghana could soon secure a credit rating upgrade from its current B- level rating with a stable outlook. They also believe that such an upgrade could send a positive signal to the country's donors and investors that the managers of the economy are fully committed to fiscal discipline. The Finance Ministry, in a statement this morning, assured bondholders, investors, and the public that all future debt exchange obligations would be paid in full and on schedule. It also stated that the timely payment demonstrates the government's commitment to fiscal discipline and its firm commitment to honoring all its debt obligations.
And that is a Business Desk report. Now, GoldBod has revealed that this operation over the past 1 year has gone a long way to help reduce smuggling significantly in the country. The revelation comes at a time that questions are being raised about its impact on the numerous challenges facing the sector. But speaking at Government Accountability Series program, Sammy Gyamfi says gives more details on what they've done to deal with the challenges facing the industry.
So these enhanced compliance measures have really helped us to increase the quantity of gold that is exported through formal channels. Since 2025 January to date, 170 metric tons of gold is what we've been able to mop up. There is nothing like that. Totally unprecedented. Why Ghana today is not only the lead producer of gold in Africa, but number 6 in the world. And the difference this time around is that we are not just doing well on that ranking, but that good ranking is translating into repatriated FX, which is now supporting FX market stability.
Sammy Gyamfi is Chief Executive of the Ghana Gold Board. Let's still stay on the sector because the Ghana Chamber of Mines is pushing for a review of tax structure and royalty paid. But their member, the chamber, argues that this could make Ghana unattractive in terms of attracting fresh investment in the sector. Kenneth is Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, and he was speaking on the Beyond Numbers program on Joy News this afternoon.
One of the things we say is that even when your taxes are high and you are persistent, it's consistent and it's not changing, it's stable, it's better than when it keeps on changing. And so that definitely is one of the challenges that came with the sliding scale. But challenge based on the sliding scale, based on your growth and stabilization. And bear in mind that in Ghana we also pay 35% of corporate income taxes, then the various levies and charges and fees. It's making Ghana, in terms of government stake out of the mining, revenue, the highest. Even the band that the IMF itself had projected, that is the nominal band. Ghana currently is doing way above that. Again, so once you do that, because even whether it's Ghanaian, investment that is coming, the Ghanaian will be looking at it and wondering, where do I get my best, bang for my investors? And so when we do that, then as a mining
Chief Executive of the Ghana National Chamber of Mines, that is Ken Ashigbe. Now, economist Professor Peter Korte is calling for stronger institutional support for the Public Interest and Accountability Committee as it marks 15 years of monitoring Ghana's petroleum revenues. According to him, securing a sustainable funding mechanism for the committee could strengthen accountability of Ghana's natural resources.
What PIAC is doing for oil should be replicated for other minerals as well, because we are tracking the way oil money is being used in this country. And I think it's a good thing. For the past 15 years, we have highlighted where there are problems. There have been instances where oil money has been used judiciously. There have been instances where they say there is a project here, you go and the project is not there. We have highlighted all of that. I mean, as we saw, after this launch, we are going to have a comprehensive report on abandoned projects, on oil projects. We're going to track all of them over time.
And that is economist Professor Peter Cote. And that's all for Business on News. Now, Kenneth, have you seen Gemma's outfit today?
I have seen it.
Okay. I wish you were on TV, you know.
Is it Alexander McQueen?
Like, of course, supermodel, you know.
Yeah, he was.
And now me Campbell in the making.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, George.
Let's do other stories. Some herbal medicine sellers are openly flouting the Public Health Act 851, selling unlabeled drugs in reused containers and without proper dosage instructions. Others are advertising treatments for diseases including gonorrhea, hypertension and diabetes. Despite legal restrictions on such claims, the breaches are putting consumers at risk and raising serious questions about the Food and Drugs Authority's enforcement of its own regulations. Nancy Kumson has more in this feature. Herbal Gumbo.
The calls come one after another. Customers are seeking treatment. Ali says his mixtures can treat.
I'm Ali Boss. If you are looking for medicine for piles, fever, gonorrhea, hernia, penis enlargement, or women's health issues, I have remedies for all of them. People keep calling me because they say my medicines work.
The FDA says approved products for conditions such as gonorrhea cannot be advertised without its approval. Gonorrhea is among the conditions the authority says require a doctor or pharmacist before treatment. That is why advertising cures for it is restricted.
I mix a little of each medicine together. We drink the mixture in the morning and evening. If there is an accompanying pomade, apply it only at night.
Nothing on the containers identifies the ingredients, dosage, or possible risk. The products come from different sources. Some are stored in coffee tins and others in reused containers. Most of the products we saw carried no label.
It's not coffee. The container is filled with different herbal medicines.
When asked to identify the exact ingredients, Ali declines to explain.
For gonorrhea, take a small amount of the herbal mixture and mix it with coconut water before drinking it. Alternatively, you can squeeze lime into the mixture and drink it. Within 1 to 2 hours, you will begin to urinate frequently and you will be fine.
For anyone taking a herbal remedy, what is missing from the label could be as dangerous as what is inside the bottle. The FDA says every product must disclose its active ingredients. Without that information, consumers risk allergic reactions, harmful interactions with other medicines, or unsafe doses. Nancy Kums's report for Joy News.
145 an hour million.
Let's do sports. Benaya is here with the latest. Benaya.
So we are 10 days away from the 2026 Joy Sports Invitational Tournament. Ken, were you there last year?
No, I wasn't. But hearing about the people who say they are training with Real Madrid,
with
Kylian Mbappe and
people have Jose Mourinho training them and stuff.
I'm scared for the joy for the Joy News and
what sport are you
multimedia
going
team.
to be competing in?
You said?
What sport are you going to be doing?
What you said?
No.
Okay, we'll give you lime and spoon.
We'll
give you
legs,
lime and spoon. Lime and spoon.
No. Give me something more.
Football?
Yes.
Football.
Yes.
All right, sure.
Because I've been watching Haaland.
Yeah, they're just supposed to add you to our team.
Okay.
What position are you going to play?
I wish you all the best.
Number
okay.
3.
You're going
Asamoah.
Oh, Asamoah number 3. So
Number 3. Yeah.
Asamoah won the number 3, but he was a striker.
But
the number 3
9
usually won as by the number 3.
Striker. Can't you see my legs?
So number 9.
Thank
you.
Nice. So you know this is the biggest corporate sports organization annual competition, and this year's tournament is supported by Toyota Superior Quality Minerals Commission, the regulator of the mining industry in Ghana, Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app, And then Abaco Service Bebre, Latex Foam, your partner for life. Valex Lease Equip Limited, committed to providing our customers with exceptional services. So for those who want to register, a lot of companies have registered to participate. So we are inviting more companies to register. We have over 25 companies that have registered so far.
Okay.
So Charlie, the companies, they should hurry up and register before we close. We close the window, because next week.
What will you be doing?
What will I be doing? I mean, I'm wrestling. You should see I'm seeing.
Please,
I'm wrestling. You see,
don't let your
I'm
friends
wrestling.
deceive you.
I'm wrestling.
I'm wrestling is a muscle.
Gemma will be behind, cheering me up. So more, morale. I need morale. Ken, you've not yet said what you'll be doing.
Oh, you get to go first. All right.
So for those who want to participate, they can call Sleven on WhatsApp. They can WhatsApp him or call him on 024 237 6445 024 237 6445. You can also pick up physical forms at the Joy FM front desk or download the forms on the sports page of myjoyonline.com. So yeah, that's it for sports, Kenneth and Gemma.
Thank you very much, Benaya, for bringing us sports. Now, one of the surviving drivers involved in last Thursday Afenyo barrier accident has narrated a chilling account of how the gory early morning accident that claimed lives occurred. The incident, which happened a week ago involving 7 vehicles, claimed 12 lives, leaving a member of the surviving victims still battling for their lives. A week on, a driver of the Sprinter vehicle, Isaac Buadu, who was transporting passengers, mostly market women, from Peace Village in Amasaman to Market in Accra, tells Joy News what exactly occurred that dawn.
Na anopano ya wada no ade a chiama ya tuka efrifi ayeba ya fa enipa ebi wo kwama maka na yema yedru eye Afenyo eye barrier ho no ma yi san John Tebi pono ana me hu se cars na e o manim no agina o ma park brake light ni siso nti as a driver ni so ma ko hu se car nso agina de ma se de nso ese me so megina because manim ne esi.
On Thursday morning, while driving towards the Afenyo barrier, I stopped along the way after seeing other vehicles ahead of me do the same. I then heard another vehicle honking behind me. Before I could react, the said car smashed into mine. The impact of the crash pushed my car about 5 to 10 meters before it came to a stop.
To 10 meters, and sana car ne kwa kujina. Car ni jina yenu na me ni ba mo se there be a accident and AC. Nti na me enum na me nan so aka e wo car no mu a mentimi nyi me nan. Nti enum a efo so ya me hu kwan ya me nan na kora me fa so yiye. Me hwe na me windscreen ni ade nyina car na nim nyina se nti me free car no windscreen nim na me see form. Me see form na me hu se na car na si aye ne de. Car no aye condemn kora nipa e wo mu kora be din se nipa no be pie Africa no. Nti me pie no ana me hu driver ni ba ko no bisa me say me ne driver na me kita car we na na me say no so no so no kita white car na me car na be bom no be ono de already no wadi kan asi Africa no mu ansa na we ntu gina so no hu say car na e ba e be bom me car.
In the midst of the chaos, I jumped out of the car, only through the windscreen. My car was badly mangled, trapping the remaining passengers inside. It was only after I stepped out of the car that I noticed that I had sustained injuries myself to the foot and eyelid. Emergency service workers arrived at the scene moments later. The officers then began rescuing the passengers trapped inside my vehicle. One woman that I saw had lost both legs after she was pulled out. Some of us were rushed to the Ga East Municipal Hospital, while others, I am told, were rushed to other different facilities. Shortly after that, I think I lost consciousness. When I finally regained consciousness, I was told that some passengers had lost their lives.
Just 7 days after this incident, another accident has occurred this morning on the Afenyo Gyasi stretch, few meters away from the spot the Thursday accident occurred. This also involved multiple vehicles, including a VIP bus, a military vehicle, and a Toyota Vitz and a four-wheel drive. No death has been recorded, but one person has seriously been injured. Municipal Chief Executive for Ganorth, Akwete Agbo, says speed cameras must immediately be installed on the stretch to curb speeding and the recurring crashes.
All is as a result of policy. Because if you are descending from John Tay to Pokwase, why must you get an accident or you crash for such a short way?
We apologize for the poor quality of sound, but let's speak to the program's director for the National Road Safety Authority, Felix Owusu, on this. Felix, 2 accidents in a week on the same stretch of road should be concerning to your authority.
Yeah, hello.
I can hear you, Felix.
Yes, so good evening to you and to your cherished viewers and listeners. First of all, let's make it more correct. Yeah, so I'm a senior manager, not the director for programs that you put it. So please, let's get that right. I'm a senior manager.
Well noted.
At the Greater Accra Regional Office of the Authority.
Please carry on with the answer to my question.
Yes, so definitely, I mean, what's happening on our road is a serious concern to we at the National Road Safety Authority. Not only, I mean, in fact, but I think it should be also a concern to every Ghanaian. Yes, once we all use the road, it should be a concern to all of us. But at the National Road Safety Authority, our mandate for our objective is very simple: to make sure we work to reduce the number of crashes.
Felix, unfortunately, your line to us is really terrible. We apologize for that. Felix Owusu is a senior manager with the NRSA. When we get a better line in subsequent bulletins, we'll have that conversation.
Well, with less than 24 hours to the NSMQ preliminaries, the host city, Cape Coast, is already buzzing with excitement, predictions, and fierce school royalty. We hit the streets to find out which schools residents are backing and which among the pack they think could pull off a major upset.
This year, and which school will you be supporting?
Obviously, I will be supporting my my school, St. Mary's. They have won again from the OT region, and I hope that they will be able to go very far. Otherwise, then maybe some other institution. But let's wait until we get there.
Realistically, I have to be realistic. I know my school at Naman, they've qualified, but realistically, I know there are some schools that I know these people will get to the finals. Augustins is there. My brother is in Adesade, so I have to support Adesade because my brother is there. But I'm backing my school at Naman. But I know that Adesade, Augustin, they worry people.
The students have been thinking very deep to bring out the answers that they are supposed to bring. And you see that it's very encouraging for our students. But let's make it practical too in that way. Yeah, you get the feeling of the theory aspect, then the practical must come. I want to see them out from school using their skills more than.
The 2026 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Prime Time Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service with support from Goil PLC, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Jupe Money Transfer, Truster AI, GTP, Bell Beverages, Didi Jollof, Spin City, Laundromat, and the broadcast on Joy News is sponsored by Vitamilk and Chartered Institute of Management Accountants.
Anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anema koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anema koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa koliwa.
Well, it's not time for your say, Michael.
Well, Kenneth, there's a lot that is going on, a lot. But let's start with some of the messages that some of our cherished listeners have been sending to us in contributing to the show. So, Winneba, from Winneba, Kofi Ochiman, and I hope that I got your name right. He says, boss, the question is, where does BOG buy its gold from? Is it not solely from GoldBod? If yes, then GoldBod is responsible. Then this one from Francis here in Accra says, good thinking Ghanaians are happy and they see Sammy Gyamfi for his response to Honorable Afenyo and his MPP agents. All that Afenyo was saying is that the so-called GoldBod debt could provide Ghanaians the money sunk in digging the National Cathedral and SML loot. Can't same be used to provide social good for Ghanaians under them? Well, Francis, I'm sure that somebody will be able to answer your question. This one says, a country where leaders welcome praise but abhor criticism, lack of accountability is our bane and reason for seeming retrogression as people. This is from Michael Intribuisiako in Abofu. And then this one says that this is from Britical, I hope I got your name right, Britical, from Anglonga district. It says, if the MPP and the minority leader claim that the GoldBod made a loss, they should go ahead and sue him to any competent court of jurisdiction. And then finally, this one from Nana Ikwema Boatin says, I completely disagree with my brother Palgrave on his decision to pick up nomination forms for chairman Wontumi. We are all unhappy with the way and manner in which the NDC and the court dealt with him. However, for the national chairmanship position, John Boedu had already been anointed to occupy that position. Thank you very much for your message. And Kenneth, you know where we are now, right?
Tell me.
Well, let me ask you, can you tell the difference between, say, a local chicken and say, another that is imported?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. The bones. Or
a bone? Wait, when you sit on the market, do you see the bones?
No, when you are chewing it, you can actually feel
it. Means that you have to you want to eat it before you can tell.
Yeah.
And aside
I see
from
the kind of person you are.
Before
so you want to
can
eat
tell.
everything before you know what it is.
No, but Michael,
fine.
you see, the bone texture of one that has been kept in refrigerator for years.
Kenneth, that is not how to tell the difference between meat. When you go to Accra Mall, don't let you chew the meat first. Well, Adenta Kumi, I mean, some of you know him, right? Adenta Kumi. He seems to know how Akokon Kitikitis, the meat from it, where they are coming from. Let's listen to him.
Video call. He said, look at this in Kokon Kitikitis. I bought it for 10 cedis. I said, oh, really? Are you sure? He said, I bought it for 10 cedis. Then he broke it. He said, it doesn't have bone marrow. Charlie, this one, China chicken. China chicken. And I began to understand why they said, in Kokon Kitikitis, they never grow big. But when MPP comes to power, we will show Ghanaians that whatever we bring is big. So we will bring them a conformer Kesia.
Oh, good old politics. My goodness, Michael.
Oh, man. They say there's no bone marrow in it, so it's from China.
Anyway, thank you very much, Michael Ashali, for bringing us your say.
Well, Ken, the Republic Bank Joy News Habitat Fair kicks off tomorrow, bringing together opportunities for prospective home owners to explore properties, financing options and special deals under one roof. Is actually on Friday. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or take the next step towards owning a property, the fair promises a range of offers to help make that possible. So this is for you, Ken, and for all,
and for you too. Right, that's it for News 9 this evening. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
Mine is Gemma, Appiah.
And don't forget forget to do the 2, brush your teeth day and night with Pepsodent. And right after this is Strong and Sassy. Yeah.
Yes.
And Akofa is already in the studio. Akofa.
I am feeling all sassy already. So we're having a conversation with our Generation Zs, okay? Sometimes you see things on the timelines where people are a bit, they don't understand them properly, and so there's like bits of clash here and there in our dealings with them. And so we've got some Gen Zs in studio. We want to understand how they roll, basically. We're not here to bash them, we're just understanding them. And so we're having an extensive conversation on the show.